I know you all are still wanting about the contest. I'll get into it shortly. We're actually almost done for today. I didn't realize that we were already going an hour and 10 minutes, and I didn't want to do an extremely long broadcast this week. I'm not getting into the Global Force Wrestling stuff again. This past Monday, I was going to do just a little teaser. Kevin and I ended up having a great discussion about it, and honestly, there's not much else I can add to what we said on Monday. I think some of the things that went wrong with Global Force Wrestling we talked about. I think some of the ideas that we gave, we talked about also. I mean, the only thing I will say, and I don't want to name drop because it is kind of corny to name drop, but I went on Twitter and I wrote down total paid 137. Like I did one of these spoof commercials for American Express or something total paid 137. Total crowd 194. GFW buzz 0. Seeing Jeff Jarrett's reaction to 5,000 empty seats, priceless. I did that on Twitter. Right away, it's a paid show, blah, 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 blah. We already talked about that on Monday. I don't need to get into it again. All right? But then later on that night, I went online. I said, my apologies to Jeff Jarrett. I said that there were 5,000 empty seats. I was actually wrong. There was 6,200 empty seats. And then people again, hey, the paid show, blah, 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 blah. So what I decided to do is drop some knowledge. Let everybody know how much it costs to rent that baseball field for events. How much it costs for the plane tickets for the wrestlers. How much it costs for the lodging. How much it costs to rent the ring. How much it costs for the wrestlers' salaries. Jeff Jarrett, at a minimum, that event cost about $17,000 at a minimum. And when you think about the ticket prices and the number of people that attended, that show drew a revenue of under $4,000. Paid show, unpaid show, bottom line is an average show for that expense, that rental, everything involved cost 17 to 18 grand minimum, and it generated 4. You do the math, and you tell me how Global Force Wrestling is on its way to success. And I can't tell you how many people turned around and not only liked that remark, but all I'm going to say is a few people within TNA Wrestling also liked my tweet. People that despise me liked that tweet. And I thought I was in bizarro land. Me and Jerry from Florida, he's a long-time listener, a good friend of the show, and scumbag in fantasy baseball too, I might add. And, he's actually very big in the communications world, entertainment world. But anyway, we were having a good chuckle at it. I was like, can you believe these people fucking retweeted and liked what I posted? Then I'm saying to myself, there's probably a lot more tension between TNA and Jeff Jarrett's promotion than you people think. Something tells me that's gonna be a little bit of a war. It's a shame that Jeff Jarrett now couldn't get TV to go against TNA Impact. That would be pretty funny. I mean, because it's like Thunder going up against WrestleLicious. You know what I mean? Like, it's like two promotions that aren't that great right now, but to see them fight might light some fire under their asses and some creative juices. Because I'm sorry, I love Sanjay Dutt as a wrestler. I've been watching him for fucking over 10, 12 years. Kevin Matthews, fucking homeboy over here, man. So happy when he got to WWE developmental, it didn't work out. Seeing him on the show put a smile on my face. But still, you have to look at this in the big picture. Is Global Force Wrestling going to entice anybody to get out? And I don't care how good the Bullet Club is. I don't care how good Chris Masters is right now. I don't care how Sanjay Dutt, how good he is right now. All right? If you don't have, let me put it this way. I will add one thing from Monday night. When I talked about Monday driving 2 hours to the ECW arena during Combat Zone Wrestling Show in 2002 just to pass out flyers for XPW that we did, okay? And when we did all that stuff, when XPW had their event, I had a crazy number of people going to that show. All right. I sold out I had almost 200 people from New York ride buses to Philly to see that show. More people were on my buses than Jeff Jarrett drew in his first fucking promotion, and he fucking hyped it for 18 goddamn months. Okay? But once those fans got to that show, they went on almost every bus trip that I did after that. Why? Because, yes, they saw Terry Funk. Yes, they saw Shane Douglas. Yes, they saw a couple of ECW guys. They also got to see my homeboys, okay, from New York, Boogaloo and Lowrider. They got to see Mexico's Most Wanted. All right, they got to see a nice man. Who the fuck? Global Force Wrestling, XPW had more of a global force that night. Where's the international influence, the international flavor that he fucking had on his fucking show, Jeff Jarrett? Where's the international flair? Your name of your promotion is Global Force Wrestling. You debut shows because what? Sanjay Dutt is Indian? What the fuck is so global about what you launched? If you couldn't sell tickets and you couldn't get enough people there, how do you debut your first? Does that reek of Global Force? Now, if we would add some famous Mexicans on there, some famous Japanese on there, some famous different people, then you could say, okay, didn't draw that well, but you know what? That's a stack card, and it shows what Global Force is all about. A real diverse number of talents. Any indie show in the United States right now could book a Chinese person, a Japanese person, a Hindu person, a black person, a Jamaican person, a fucking Italian person, a Jewish person. They could book any national. The United States has all those nationalities already. Global Force? Global my cock. That was fucking pathetic. To have that fucking roster and your Global Force? That's why XPW, you had veterans. You had some international flavor. But you also had guys that were not known mainstream. Boogaloo and Lowrider were not known mainstream. You had a few other people that were not known mainstream. Sharkboy became a United States, a worldwide phenomenon from XPW. Sharkboy! Okay? We did an event. I don't remember which one it was. And the name is Fallout. Might have been XPW Fallout. It was the first appearance for Sharkboy there. And every match, there was Sharkboy chants. That guy got insanely over like that. This was way before Sharkboy became a national. Look, Sharkboy ended up becoming a friend of mine. All right? One of the coolest. And you know what's funny, people? I regret this. This is one thing Don Tony's regretted over the years. Okay? I've always felt that when you're around celebrities, when you're around wrestlers, you treat them like everyday human beings. Okay? You don't ooh and ah. You can ooh and ah inside, but you be respectful, and I've said that many times before. I've gone out to dinner with my family, and I talked about this a while back, and it was a funny thing on one of the old Hotline reports. We were eating dinner, and fucking Big Pussy from The Sopranos walks in. And the funny thing about it was, and I could talk about this now, that, my father was having a conversation with him because my father knew him from something prior. And, they brought up on how I think he was either wanted or he was arrested, or they were looking for him because I think like he beat up his girlfriend or he threw someone out of a car, a moving car. It was some wild shit like that. But we just talked to him and said hello and everything like any other person. When Robert De Niro went to my father's house and rang his bell about using my father's house to film scenes from the movie The Good Shepherd, all right, my parents called me up like, you're not going to believe he's over at the house right now. Just come over. I'm like, who's there? Just come over. I went there. Robert De Niro was there. Walked up to him. Hey, how's it going? Big fan of yours. Didn't fucking, oh my God, I got to take a picture. Ben Affleck, when he went to my parents' house. There's tons of pictures on my personal Facebook page of that. My whole family got pictures with him, but, everybody just was, no, I mean, my brother's kids were very, very young at the time, so they were fucking in cloud nine. But me, I was like, hey, how's it going? Big fan of yours. I'm not really a big fan of Ben Affleck, but that's what I said, okay? Joe Pesci, that cocksucker fucking, decided to disappear. He was supposed to hang out too. I'll tell if for people that don't know the story, mention it on Facebook, and I'll talk about it in the next Breakfast with Blassie. But even the ECW, when I was pushing tickets for ECW in 2000 and 2001, and I got to go backstage a few times, and literally hang out in the same room with Paul Heyman and stuff, and pass along here. I just talk to them like normal people. When I fucking became friendly with Shane Douglas from Frank Goodman's events, and Shane Douglas wanted me to do bus trips for Hardcore Homecoming and other stuff, and I used to talk to him from the XPW stuff. Treat him like every other person. Tracy Smothers, absolutely loved that guy, because he was big in finance and insurance on the outside. Loved to talk finance. Me, I'm in the insurance field. I picked that guy's brain, and we would talk about finance stuff during, XPW stuff behind the scenes. Loved it. Okay? Vic Grimes became one of the coolest dudes that I've ever come across in my life behind the scenes. Pogo the Clown, I got to talk to that guy so much on the outside when they started touring Philadelphia. Mad cool people. Always talk to them like regular people. All right? Yeah, some of these people are larger than life. Terry Funk's my all-time favorite. Okay? I have inside a 2-page letter that Terry Funk wrote to me when I got engaged in 1996. 1998. And, I had been in a car accident and everything. Guy wrote me a 2-page letter. I'm not going to tell the whole story behind it, but, I got to meet him a few times and talk to him and stuff like that. Actually, a phone comment. It's just, that's how I always felt you deal with people. But unfortunately, that has been a mistake of mine in certain ways also. Because over the years of being around certain people, I didn't take photos. I didn't take pictures with them. Because I always felt, come on, that's markish, that's campy, that's just, it's just kind of like, me. And I wouldn't take pictures. The only reason why I took the picture with Shark Boy was because I was in the Deli Man outfit. And it looked pretty cool to have Deli Man and Shark Boy in a picture together, and I still got it, and it's cool. And I still got the picture of me with Cactus and Terry Funk when they were the WWF Tag Champs. That was cool also. But so many times that I've been around people over the years, I've had camera phones in my pocket. I could have just said, hey, can I just grab a picture? I don't know, for some reason, I just felt like it was just, like if you're talking to someone just like a regular person, and then you say, oh, by the way, can I take a picture with you? I always just felt it was kind of corny. It was kind of like, you like going against what you, so there's so many people over the years I wish I took more pictures of. My father, true story, since Hillary is going to run for president, she is running for president, and she might be our next president. Unfortunately, shortly after 9/11, a plane went down here in Rockaway, Queens. All right, it was, I think it was en route to, like some Latin, country overseas. I don't know if it was Dominican Republic or something, but you could Google it. A couple of weeks after 9/11, a plane crashed in Rockaway, Queens. The plane crashed 2 blocks from my parents' house. Okay? My father, owning a supermarket, and still does, went to the supermarket, brought cases and cases of bottled water and other things, and brought it for all of the people that were there. The emergency people and this and that. Hillary Clinton showed up at the scene of, what happened. And, she was thanking the people that were there, and my father was there, and she walked up to my father and she said, listen, thank you for everything that you did for all the people here. And my father says, you're welcome. And my father said, can we take a picture? And she said, of course. So in my father's store right now, there is a gigantic photo of my father taking a picture with Hillary. She's got sunglasses on with shades. Obviously, they don't look like they're in the greatest of moods because they're at a plane crash. But when you look at the photo, this looks like a photo like that they were buddy-buddy. And they're not. But the funny thing is that when you walk in and you see it, it is such a conversation piece. And that's just a picture of my father with Hillary. One day I'll put it on Facebook. People will get a nice kick out of it because it's you don't normally see Hillary with sunglasses on and the way she looks and this and that. And that was taken about 14 years ago, you know. But, yeah, I regret not taking more photos. I mean, look, I remember fucking being in a hotel room with Shane Douglas for about 3 hours, and we were just talking about stuff and this and that. And never once did I think, hey, you know, maybe I should take a picture with him. Maybe I should just put him on a hotline just to talk, you know, chew the fat or whatever, just to have some fun. Never. There was one time, and I could talk about this, Shark Boy. After a Frank Goodman event, we went to a bar in Long Island. It was me and Shark Boy. We were having a bunch of drinks, and there was a couple of chicks there. We were trying to pick them up. And, you know, I had to drive, so I couldn't drink all that much. Shark Boy was bombed not beyond belief, but he was in a good mood. So he knew that I did the hotline and stuff like that back then, and Shark Boy was and then I started doing, you know, the Minority Report podcast. He's like, let's record some stuff, and we'll put it on there just for good laughs. And I actually thought about it, but I pussied out. And the reason why I pussied out is because I said to him, I said, look, I said, you know, it'd be a lot of fun. I said, but, you know, we're drinking and everything, and it might, you know, come back to haunt him down the line. If he's in a drunken tirade and we're having fun, and, you know, if anybody out there has ever had a couple of drinks with Shark Boy, he is one funny motherfucker. But he could be politically incorrect sometimes also, in a good, you know, in not in a racist way or in a prejudiced way or, you know, in a sexist way, but, you know, it's just, he's just a politically incorrect. And him with the Steve Austin impersonation and stuff like that, I don't know how it would have came off. So I didn't do it. Now, looking back on it, you damn well I would have fucking done it now. But back then, I was just too goody-goody, you know? So there's things I do regret with stuff like that. But anyway, I think I've done enough ranting for today, right?